In this session, we're going to talk about flavored beers. Now, they seem to be in a class all by themselves. However, they are a real popular choice. And every time I hear the word flavored beers, I think, what's a flavored beer? Is a beer not a beer?
A beer is a beer is a beer, but when you put some flavor in, you're adding another dimension to the beer. There's actually always been flavored beers, maybe not so much in our industry in Alberta or Canada, but certainly in Europe, they've always made beer with flavor in it. So it's just something that we're just maybe starting to see more on a larger scale here. What it is, they just take wheat beer. I've got some wheat beer right there. And because it's neutral, it lends itself really well for adding flavor to it. So what we're wanting is kind of a neutral base of beer. Then, for say a strawberry beer, they'll put 30% strawberry juice in the beer.
A strawberry beer?
A strawberry beer.
Okay. I never knew it existed.
You can also use ale if you would like to flavor your beer. Ale is more neutral, lends itself to that flavoring. It's got more of that sweeter base to it, so it also adds to the flavoring component as well. We also, very, very popular, very Belgian, is a cherry beer. And if you see Kriek, if you see that on your label, it means sour cherries. Sour cherry beer, really popular.
Raspberries, apricots?
Yes, apricot. We do have an apricot beer made in Alberta. It is very subtle with the apricot. It's interesting because apricots don't have a big push of flavor, so they actually taste really nice in the beer.
So how does this type of beer, a flavored beer, differ from a regular beer other than the flavor? Is it sweeter? For somebody like me, I don't drink a lot of beer. Would I prefer maybe a flavored beer?
Depending on the beer, because although it's flavored, it's still going to have that beer taste to it with a flavoring in the background. It can be quite subtle. Our pumpkin pie spice one here has got all the beer taste and flavor, all the beer sort of enjoyment, it's carbonated, it's got the good layers of flavor, but it's also got this spice that's layered in the background. So we're still drinking beer.
Okay.
We're still drinking beer, but we've just got a little extra going on in there.
What a super idea. And I do have to ask you a little bit about the serious beer drinkers. So if somebody comes in, they love their beer, would they drink a flavored beer?
I believe so. I believe beer drinkers are open-minded, wanting to try all different styles of beer, so are willing to try what we have sort of offered in our stores in Alberta. I think particularly they might be, if they're on the edge, they can try one single beer. You can buy one single beer in a box, or if you're, depending on the store, they'll have singles out there. Don't have to buy 6 beer, just buy one beer.
Okay, perfect idea. And a mead beer. I often heard my husband talk about a mead beer. What's that?
Mead is made with honey. So it has been made in Britain where there was a lot of honey available. Once again, using what's available. We have some mead here. In Alberta, it is required that you have hops in your mead, so it is called an ale. Although we do have raspberry and honey in here, it's 7%, which is fairly high for an ale. It's delicious. Mead is interesting. This honey in the background, still talking beer, but just a wonderful flavor.
You know, I often just think, as you were saying that too, I'm always taking wine to friends, thinking that would be a nice hostess gift or a welcome gift. I always forget about the gentlemen that I visit that love beer. These are great gift ideas to introduce new beers. So if somebody comes in and says, I'm going to a dinner party, might be an idea to say, hey, take the guy or some of your beer lover a half pack of something new, something different.
Something new, something different. Once again, we've got some very high-end beer, come in a box. This one in particular, they tell you exactly what hops they've put into the beer. There's a specialty yeast. So for the person that likes beer and would enjoy a very, very interesting beer, then this is going to have a flavor profile all in its own. So it can be considered a flavored beer.
That all sounds great. Heather, do you have any tips for us when it comes to beer or flavored beers?
I think we need to consider that beer isn't just something that we may enjoy in front of the campfire on a really casual basis. Beer is an expanding industry. There's lots of different kinds. I really encourage trying these flavored beers and introducing them to your customers.
And this will all be out in your handout.
I will have a handout. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to beer.
Super. Thank you so much, Heather, and thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this session today on flavored beers. If you have any questions or comments for Heather, simply send her an email at the address on your screen. And join us again soon for another Alberta Liquor Store Association Education Series.